This lecture is about vocabulary questions in the TOEFL exam. In every TOEFL reading passage, there will be 1 to 2 vocab questions. And what you have to do is to select the word or phrase that is closest in meaning to the word or phrase in bold. Vocabulary questions look like the following. The question could ask about a word or a phrase. There's not much of a tip to selecting the correct answer to a vocab question. You simply have to know the synonym of the word in bold. In other words, studying essential TOEFL vocabulary words is necessary in order to select the correct answer. But one thing you should keep in mind is that if there are words among the answer choices that are synonyms of one another, it means that they are incorrect answer choices. So eliminate synonymous words within the choices and then select your answer. It's no exaggeration to say that the key to a high score in reading is knowing the vocabulary. The more words you know, the better your reading comprehension skills will be. You'll be able to read faster while fully understanding the passage. A tip to memorizing words is to organize the words you struggle to understand by the way they sound. This way, you'll be able to avoid getting confused by words that sound alike. Just like this, organize words you've seen in practice exams and make your own word list. In the premise that you've read the passage, first find the word in bold in the passage and select the word that has the closest meaning to it. After you've chosen your answer, read the full sentence to make sure the answer is correct. For questions that ask about a single word, focus on selecting the synonym of the word in bold. Selecting the answer based on context does work, but a more quicker and assured way is to select the synonym. This is because there's a possibility that the context may confuse the way you interpret the word in question. But for questions asking about a phrase, of course it's best to find the synonym, but if you do not know what the meaning of the given phrase is, there are cases where there's a clue to what the phrase means in the sentence that contains the phrase or the sentence after that. So don't give up, and if you don't know the given word, try to find clues in the passage and make a smart guess. Now let's solve a couple questions. First, pause the video and solve the problem. The question reads, the phrase oblivious to in the passage is closest in meaning to. The meaning of oblivious to is lacking active conscious knowledge or awareness. The answer to this question would be A, clueless about. As such, if you don't know the words, it will not be easy to solve these types of questions. But for this question, if you did not know what oblivious to meant, there's a clue you can use to determine what it means. The sentence that contains the phrase in bold reads, the newly risen class was blank, the customs of the upper class, and had to be guided on how to behave as a moral individual. The newly risen class had to be guided on something because they blank the customs of the upper class. At this point, you can make a smart guess that the newly risen class had to be guided because they did not know the customs of the upper class. Now you'd have to select an answer choice that has the closest in meaning to not knowing something, which would be A, clueless about. Here's the next question. Pause the video and solve the problem. The word maneuver in the passage is closest in meaning to. If you take a look at the answer choices, A and D have similar meanings. They both can mean to move forward or to make faster. Since A and D are synonyms, those two are incorrect answer choices. Now all we have to do is to select the correct answer between B and C. The given word, maneuver, means move skillfully or carefully. Commence means begin or start. And operate means control the functioning of a machine, process, or system. Operate has the closest meaning to maneuver, and the answer is B. This is the last question. Pause the video and solve the problem. Selecting the correct answer to this question is not much different from selecting a single word question. Even though in accordance with has in and with front and back, the point is to find the closest meaning to the word accordance. But these phrase questions are relatively easier because the clue to selecting the correct answer is easier to locate. The sentence after the one containing the given phrase begins with, as the interests of the two stakeholders involved in the passion coincides. As means because, and coincides means being the same. So since the next sentence said that the two stakeholders, the interest of the individual who feels the passion and the person who receives it, is the same, in accordance with would mean to be the same. Now we know right away that the answer to the question is D, consistent with. There's a very small possibility in selecting the correct answer to a vocab question without knowing your vocabulary. So study TOEFL vocab words to select the correct answer and save your precious time. This is the end of the lecture. Thank you for watching.